We got
Yeah,
cut
short
off
leash
of
on
our,
that one.
that was that not a good pew? Like, do you judge
He
them based on the
circumcised our
pews?
pew.
He did.
Oh, I just thinking like we got so much to get into. We might as well like you just hop into it.
Okay, I always wonder that because like
Touche.
sometimes when you come in early on them, I'm like, all right, was that our fault? Like, did we just do a shitty job of pewing? Was he like, this is some
No, he's just
piss-poor
excited.
pewing. Right? No, but like
when he comes in early like that, he's just extra excited.
he's just ready to go. He just missed us. Like, we missed you too, Bobby Jokes. We missed you too. It's good to be back. It's Gravy Day, episode 373, and as we are recording this, happy Football Eve to everyone. Happy Football Eve.
We made it, guys. It's been a long road.
We
fucking
told you.
did it.
We told you, Rona, you can fucking take all our other shit, but I swear to fucking God, if you try and take my football, we riot. And luckily for everyone else, we do not have to riot because I was 100% planning on following through with that if we were to lose football. Luckily, the gods were on our side, and they were cool with football happening. And tomorrow night, guys, as we're recording this, we are a little over 24 hours away from the Thursday night opening kickoff. Chiefs, Texans, holy shit. It's also like a little added luxury because I keep forgetting that football season is like snuck up on us. Like, I don't know about you this week, but like I had a fantasy draft. I had my final fantasy draft last night, but just like all weekend long, I was like, oh shit, you're right. Like,
Did you take Final Fantasy 7 or Final Fantasy 9?
I didn't take either of those. Neither of those.
Oh, you had your
ESPN
last fantasy. Oh, okay. See, that confused me. I thought we were video games.
No, but like we got that tweet that everybody shared, I'm sure, on Sunday that was, hey, this is our last Sunday without football for the next 22 weeks. And you're just like, oh, fuck yes. Like 22 weeks of heaven, more like. I don't care if there's fans in the stands. I don't live in New York or New Jersey, so I couldn't attend any Giants home games anyways. I'm cool watching them on NFL Ticket. I'm fine with that. And I think more people are just going to realize how awesome NFL Ticket is now, even though I think there's going to be fans in the stands a little bit for the Thursday night game. I don't know how many people are going to be able to have fans in stands this season. I don't fucking care. It's football. If you would tell me that we can watch football without fans, like, and that's the only way we can get it, I'm cool with that. But like, I'm just glad that it's back. I'm glad that it's back. We're going to get to talking about football here in a little bit. We also get the return of the PTG Picks segment. Uh-oh. Can I
Returning champ.
Can I redeem myself? Because I think I was off to a hot start last year. I want to say I led like the first 2 or 3 weeks, and then it was just I was letting Pat get his confidence up. I wanted him to get a good, like, he's not a big gambler. So I was like, I just wanted Pat to get one win under his belt. I didn't want him to be discouraged. And now.
Technically, it was like 16 wins.
It was a lot of wins you had over me. You definitely had a lot more wins over me. But we'll get to our PTG Picks segment here in a little bit. One thing I wrote down that I wanted to talk about is I saw this guy on my way home from work today. He was wearing one of those, like, British flat caps that, like if you guys know, it's like Peaky Blinders-y. Like,
I've got one that I can grab for the video people if you want.
Just go look up British flat cap if you have no idea what I'm talking about. But I like those are like fedoras, right? Where you have to be a certain guy or type of guy to be wearing those and not look douchey. Like, I hang out with those West Ham guys. I hang out at the Bayou Ironworks, and there's a couple of guys, Ryan and Chris, and they can rock a motherfucking like British flat cap, and they just look cool with it. They can pull it off. But like, I think a lot of dudes that do that just look like tools. I'm not saying you're a tool if you are wearing one. I'm just saying you got to have like the right look, I guess. It's like guys that try and be fedora guys without fedora. Like, you got to have like a fedora face, fedora head for it to look cool. Like,
well, fedora, you've got to be rich and famous. Those are the only people that can pull off the fedora.
Or
the
like
flat cap, not so much. Like,
guy.
My brother's a big flat cap guy, and he looks really good in them. I have on occasion tried it out. And there's times when I look okay, but have you ever seen Cheaper by the Dozen?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know the fat son, he wears those. That's just I look exactly like that kid when I try and wear it. That's what it looks like. I just look like a bigger version of him. So like, it's weird. It's not. I don't look terrible. I don't look very good though. It's just like, all right, that guy's trying to do a thing. I don't know why, but he's doing it.
It's almost like that in the fedora when it doesn't like like you don't blend in with it because like you can like like I told you my guys in the Bayou Ironworks. Yeah, you might want to get your nose there, buddy. It looks like you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try plugging it up, see if it stops dripping.
It looked like you had something white like on the front of your nose, and I was like, it's just gonna look like you just did a line of coke the whole podcast. But now it looks better.
Well,
now it looks better. I'm not saying, hey, you do you, bro. You do you. We don't drug shame here. Probably don't do heroin, but you know if that's your thing, you can.
We'll
you can
shame heroin.
Whatevs. But like also the cousin of the British flat cap, which I think it was like its American cousin, just because again I've been watching King of Queens with him a lot lately on Peacock. It's the Kangol hat, and that was I feel like Samuel L. Jackson could pull it off, which basically is a backwards flat cap, but like the back of it is kind of higher up, and it's got like little like kangaroo on it. Samuel L. Jackson could pull it off. He always looks like a badass, and like literally he could wear like anything, and he looks cool.
How is that supposed to be spelled? Because it just keeps trying to give me
Kangol. Kangol.
Oh.
And like Doug or Kevin James from King of Queens wears this Kangol hat at times, and it's like, dude, I remember in like the late 90s, early 2000s, or Date Mike. Date Mike wore a Kangol. That was what Date Mike was wearing. That's the best. See, you Office fans get it.
Oh, I think you're forgetting the most famous Kangol hat guy. I think even more so than Samuel L. Michael Jordan.
All right. Yeah.
Michael Jordan loves him a Kangol hat on the golf course.
When you're the GOAT, you can kind of wear whatever. You know, like.
Actually, Samuel L. probably is more famous for wearing that, though. Either way.
I think Michael's bald head. I think it's Samuel L. Jackson. He's wearing that. I'm like, I don't want to fuck with Samuel L. Jackson anyways, but like when he's got the Kangol on, it's like now he's in chill mood, and I really don't want to bother him or piss him off because then he's gonna drop a couple motherfuckers on me, and I'm gonna be in a world of hurt, and I'm not about that. But I don't know. I just like you guys. We're in agreement though that like you have to like have like I don't know if it's the head shape, just the way you look, but it's like there's only a certain amount of people can do it, and I would say it's less than 20% of people are like cool
way less.
Wearing British.
It's
like,
under
flat
10.
caps.
I'd say it's probably more like 5.
So like if you can pull it off, like own that shit. But like, make sure you can pull it off first, guys.
Yeah.
And I know I can't. Maybe I should bring I've been trying to bring the stovepipe hat back, like the cat in the hat. But I just figured like it honestly, you can't go to movies. Because people get like you block people's view. It's really just it's kind of a hindrance to people behind you. So it's a dick move. So I think I'm just gonna stick with the bucket hat that Pat and I are both rocking. And I guess Roberts, you're just still on layaway or back ordered, maybe. I don't know. No,
yeah, just not available. Just not available to buy.
Okay, not available to buy. Not available to buy. Well. I had no real reason for discussing that. I just saw this guy walk in, and I was like, I know, because I was like, nobody can look cool in those, can they? And then I was like, okay, people on TV can, like Peaky fucking Blinders that I've never seen, but like every guy in that like show looks like they're wearing those hats. Like old school golfers can with the little ball of fuzz on the top of them, and then like the two guys in my West Ham group, like they look cool at that. So if you're like in something that's sort of British related, you could probably pull it off, but like the rest of that, no, probably not. And that is me telling you guys that's fashion. It's your fashion update on Pass the Gravy. What if every week we just picked a random thing and that was like our fashion update? Tank top, in or out?
When I pulled up the prep sheet, it was actually funny to me that you had put that question there because I had one that I was about to add myself because I thought about something today because I drank a bunch of seltzers the other day, and I usually keep them around so during the week I can have something to drink when I'm not having my cheat day. Who the fuck owns stock in mango that makes it essential for every single drink with a flavor to have a mango flavor?
I mean, I don't think that's necessarily a problem. I'm a mango fan.
I'm not shitting on it because I do like mango, but there's so many better flavors. Like right away, blueberry should be a drink for everything. Better than mango.
Fair argument.
Better than mango. Just basic lemonade.
Although blueberry mango sounds delightful. That sounds absolutely delightful.
But like some of them have strawberries, some of them don't. So strawberry, better than mango. Peach, better than mango. But everyone has mango.
5. Mango's probably a top 5 fruit.
No, I mean pineapple. God, pineapple's the goat fruit.
But see, I would rather drink mango flavored something than pineapple flavored something.
Why?
I don't know. Robert, side question. Do mangoes go in the fridge or not in the fridge?
No fridge.
No fridge for the mangoes.
Why'd you ask him that and not me?
listen to a recent study suggest podcast this week, and you'll learn which things belong in and not in the refrigerator, according to Robert and Sam. I'm
Oh,
not
I thought
quite
you were
finished
being
with it, but
racist.
it's a very educational podcast.
Thank
I
you.
I will
disagree
say-
with you on other things though, with like syrup. We don't want to get into syrup going in, not belonging in the fridge, but whatever. Or it does belong in the fridge. It does not belong in the fridge. But
So
you
it
eat
does
it
belong
anyway.
in the fridge?
It does belong in the fridge.
Syrup belongs in the fridge.
Syrup does after you open it.
Josh
No.
Tree would disagree.
I also disagree. I don't think it belongs in the fridge.
Okay, well, we'll agree to disagree. I didn't want to go into your entire podcast and just redo your podcast. Although that would be really funny. What if we just do we listen to your recent study suggests, and then me and Pat just break down the exact same study. Like, guys, what are you doing?
Ooh, side pod. A recent pod suggests where we just listen to Robert's pod and then we rehash it.
We're good at recap shows. We already do the Big Brother recap. We recap Robert's podcast and our own podcast. Now that you listen to his podcast, here's our recap of his podcast, and then you can do a
Podception.
recap of our recap of your podcast.
Hmm.
And then we'll do a
like
recap
it.
of your recap of our recap. And then it'll just never end. It'll be 5 episodes a week, but just each podcast, we have the recap podcast and then the recap of the recap podcast. And then it's like when you try the Home Depot bucket. I don't know if you my dad would make us move mulch, and there was the Home Depot bucket guy, and he's sitting on the exact same bucket that you're holding, and then you're like, oh, but then that guy is sitting on another guy holding a bucket, and it's like when you have a picture that just has the same picture inside and inside, it breaks your brain, and we'll just do that, and then they'll be like, okay, well, we really get this study. We'll really hammer home those studies, Robert, is what I'm saying.
We'll study the studies.
So both of you and Pat had questions. I actually had my own question that I was bringing in.
There's no time.
Okay.
Oh,
Moving on then.
We're very strapped for time. You know this.
Are you wet if you're completely underwater, or are you not wet?
Yes, you're wet.
Wet. You're
No.
wet.
Are you only wet once you come up from the surface?
No.
Because then the
No.
water clings onto you.
No.
Because it's not clinging onto you when you're completely submerged.
Oh, it is.
I think it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
If it wasn't, then there'd be a bubble of air around you.
I don't know, but are you really wet?
Yes.
Also,
I
what are
would
the
say so.
levels of wet? What's moist, damp, wet? What are the,
I
what are
think
the
we all know what moist is. All right.
I think you just wanted to say those words, Robert.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out the levels.
Well, moist, I would say, is just when you got some swamp butt going on or something like that. Your undercarriage, you're a little moist.
Humid.
Damp is when maybe there's just a misty rain going on. So you're a little wet, but you're not, soaked. And then once it's raining hard and your clothes are just sticking to your body, you're soaked. Somewhere in between damp and soaked you're just wet. You got rained on, you're a little wet, but it's nothing a towel can't take care of.
So do you think damp is less wet than moist, or is moist more wet than damp?
I think moist is specific to areas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moist, when you're damp, you're not going to be as wet as you are in those areas as moist. But moist is only going to it's only going to get your gooch. It's not going to get your neck.
I think moisture is humidity almost, but I feel like when you say damp, the first thing that comes to my mind is when you step it, say you get out of the shower and your shower mat's a little wet, and then you put socks on and you go to brush your teeth and you step on the wet shower mat. And you're like, oh damn it! Now my socks are wet on the bottom. That's damp.
Mhm.
Who's
It's
putting
they
on
are
socks
wet.
that quickly after a shower?
I'm just saying, you've done
Psycho.
it. Everybody's done it. Everybody knows that feeling. Or my dog drinks out of the water bowl and I don't realize she's drooled all over, and then I go step and it's my socks are damp. But I would say that is more wet than moist.
I would say your socks are just wet at that. When you step in water and you're not expecting it, and you're just
We're talking
you
about
got to change
degrees of wet.
socks.
Absolutely.
You got to change socks though, because you can't a little dampness you can deal with, but when you're just the bottom of your foot is just wet then, because you can't do anything else but think about that wetness on the bottom of your foot. Damp, you can just I'm a little damp or whatever. I'll find a towel and I'll dry off and I'm good.
See, because I'm thinking that moist is less wet than damp. So to me, it's like moist, damp, then wet.
I would agree with that. And then soaked.
Yeah,
I can't
so-
disagree with it. I'm just saying, like, for me, moist, I just think of, like, specifically, like, you got swamp ass going on.
Moist is like sweat, humidity. Damp is like something is wet, but like it's still like you can deal with it. Then wet is it's wet, like it's like yeah, you just got out of the pool. And then like soaked is like it's just dripping everywhere. There's just water dripping everywhere. You gotta like wring out the like that's just you're soaked. You're soaked. And then
Yeah,
also
I
you
think
can get into like is body like you know if are you you're wet, but like if your hair's not wet, are you wet? Like I don't know. This is a slippery slope you're on, Robert. Very slippery slope.
That's just
You should
That's gonna
probably
be our
read a
podcast today.
study
We're gonna do
on
the whole
it.
podcast on this.
What'd you say, Pat?
So we'll have to find you a study on that you can do next episode on your pod.
I guess on the levels of wet.
Yes.
Like, what is your towel after you dry off with it? After you
Damp.
get out of the shower, is it
It's-
damp?
That's damp.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're in agreement on that. Where it's like, because I've used a damp towel many times.
Unless it's a shitty towel. Like, we all know, you like, when you use that
Thin
towel to
towel.
where, like, you use it and then, like, it's got to go. It's done because it's just such a thin towel that it's completely soaked afterwards.
Yeah.
And then you, like, go to your parents and they actually have real towels because they're actual adults. And you're like, this is amazing.
Yeah, I still have
Maybe
like
that's just me.
I just have like 4,000 different towels. Like I don't have like a set of towels.
Yep, I'm with you. None of mine match.
It's like
There's
this
like
one's
two
the
that
blue
might
one.
match.
This one's the other blue one. These are the green ones. And this is a beach towel because I haven't washed any of the other ones.
Green with white trim, black with white trim, gray, brown.
Yep. Okay. So that was actually that was a pretty interesting little discussion, Bobby Jokes. Look at us all
Yeah.
bringing in some show prep just to start things off. We are not going to be doing a time machine club this week. We actually had talked about it last week. We were like, why don't we do one more round of it? And then, like I told you, football sneaking up on us. Like, didn't even think, oh yeah, we do football picks. And Pat texted me that this weekend. I was like, you're right. Like, why don't we, instead of making Bobby Jokes have to do a 4-hour podcast, what if we just cut out the Time Machine Club and we're just going to do the PTG Picks segment later on in the show? So we'll do that. But let's get into our first segment of the week, besides the we bring up questions we have and answer them. But I kind of like that. Maybe we'll start doing that more often. Our
Only
comeback
if we
kid
use that
segment.
as the actual name for the segment. We bring up questions that we've thought of and then
These
sometimes
are
try
things-
to answer them segment.
These are things we're thinking about. Here's what's going on with our brains. So let's get into the comeback kid segment and talk about some stuff that has been back in the news.
It's the comeback kid. The comeback kid of the week. The comeback kid of the week. Bitch.
Our first comeback kid this week, we already talked about it, but it's football. It's football. Football is back officially. We are less than 24 hours away from opening kickoff of Texans Chiefs. I am so excited. I'm so excited. I'm nervous about my team, but I'm excited that like they're playing on Monday, so I don't have to stress until Monday. I can just watch games all day Sunday and be happy about that. And fuck, dude, football. Football's back, man. And fantasy football. With football being back, fantasy football is also back. Because
It felt so good to do my
Nobody
drafts.
cares. I hated it.
Oh, I loved it, man. Except the first one I did, I was at work while doing it. So, like, it started as we were, like, plating the last tables because we drafted kind of late. And I'm sitting there on my iPad, like, in the kitchen trying to put up food. And they're like, move. No, you play later. It's food now. And I was like, no, it's play now.
So we
the
do this
servers
right
can
here.
run this shit. Fuck off.
We're going to figure this out. Yeah, I did a fantasy draft during our Big Brother podcast last week. It was like the eviction
I remember.
episode, and I was like, who am I going with? But, yeah, I don't know. Fantasy football is – I'm just not as excited about fantasy football as I used to be. I don't know why. It's just
I am.
– it's – and I should be the most excited right now because this is when, like, everybody's still in it. But I don't know.
I think it's just because every year you have more going on in your life, Alex.
that may be it. That may be
I
it.
don't.
Well, so we've had all kinds of did you watch any college football? I know college football came back. I watched a little bit of Texas State. That was my first football bet.
You
They
look
lost,
good
but they came
for
close.
what we are.
They came close.
I thought we were going to lose by 60.
I did too. I thought
our defense
I took SMU
contained
minus
Shane
23.
Rochelle.
I took SMU minus 23, and I think you guys lost by 7. So shout out Texas State getting jobs done.
Yeah, and if we hadn't missed a field goal earlier on in the game, I mean, there's always what ifs in football, but we would have been able to go for a touchdown late instead of kicking that field goal to make it 7. You never know, but hey, second year in Jake Spavital's system, we got some confidence. We look like we're going to be okay. We're not going to be good, but we're going to be okay.
How into college football are you going to be this season with so many teams not playing? I know Notre Dame is playing, right? They're playing ACC schedule.
Yes. So
you'll be watching that. But
except this year. So
is it like the bubble, like the NBA, where like if the Rockets don't win it, I don't give a fuck. But like if the Rockets were to somehow win the NBA championship, I'm totally taking credit for all of that. It's fine. That counts. It's a legitimate championship. Same with the Yankees. The Yankees don't win in this shortened season. It doesn't matter. That was a throwaway season. Doesn't even count. But then if they pull it off and they were to win the World Series, I'd be like, yep, absolutely. Chalk it up to another one. That's another championship. Like you're kind of looking at it?
I'm gonna watch a lot. No, because I'm still the main thing that's gonna be weird for me is I still have to go to because our hours have changed. I gotta go to work on Saturday mornings. So I'm going to be at work during Notre Dame games for the first time in my life. And I'll be bringing my iPad. I'm going to be watching Notre Dame while working. It is what it is. Sundays, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to keep going. I told my boss I'm not coming anymore, and he was like, it doesn't really matter. And I was like, dude, you need people here. You can't run it with 2. But I seriously think I'm done working Sundays. I haven't fully decided yet because I'm not going to miss pro football. But college is weird. Depending on the start time, I may not miss Notre Dame. But
Notre Dame does usually have the 11 a.m. noon kickoff. So
3:30 a lot of the time. They're in the 2:30, 3:30 range. Or they're early. But if they're in that 2:30, 3:30, it's good because we close at 2. So then I can just kind of fuck off and not really work for 3 hours while I still have to be there.
There you go.
But
this is good if your boss is listening too.
They know what I do.
We'll cut that part, Robert. Just bleep what he said. It'll be fine.
You don't need to.
And if you don't bleep it, then just pretend it was bleeped. Yes.
He'll be sitting next to me watching too. So we're good.
Strike that from the transcript when you're transcribing everything.
Don't put it into Braille. He's blind.
Yeah, don't put that in the Braille version.
So it's going to be a weird year for following sports.
Well,
I'm still going to do it.
Oh, I 100% agree with you. I'm going to watch as much college football. I'm going to gamble on games that I probably shouldn't gamble on because I'm not as knowledgeable on certain teams that are playing other teams that they've had to just fix a schedule for. But my biggest thing is I keep hearing that because I'm a big Sam Houston fan. They're not playing, and they're there's some SFA I think played a game this week. But I think what they're doing is they're letting the FCS schools that were going to get money from the big schools, they're letting them play those games so they can still get that check. And then they're like, okay, well, we'll just push it to the spring or whatever. But how is it going to work where there's other schools, other teams, the Mountain West was talking about possibly playing in the spring. Pac-12 talked about possibly playing in the spring. It's
not going to happen.
What? Yeah. That's my whole thing is so you expect there to be a college football season and then college football season part 2. And then we're going to be say let's just say USC wins the Pac-12 spring championship. What does that mean? And then you expect those guys to just go have there's no spring football at that point because you're playing in the spring, and so then you just expect these incoming freshmen to just hop on again, and we're just gonna pretend we didn't play spring football. It doesn't make any sense. I think if you don't play in the fall, we don't need to have that.
No.
I love football. I want football, but let's leave spring for the XFL. Spring's the XFL season, guys. Let's go with that.
And you expect these guys that are the best on their teams to play a full season in the fall, and then if they play well, hey, by the way, now your NFL season starts. So you're going to basically play for football, a collision sport that's a fucking car wreck on your body every week. We want you to play it for 6 straight months with no break. No, there will be no spring season.
Okay,
Or
that's
fall,
what I was thinking.
whatever I'm saying. I don't know.
Spring. We're in the fall now. This would be the
Yeah,
fall season.
sorry.
Spring is what they're talking about pushing things back to. And it's like I don't know. It doesn't make sense logistically from what you just said, where it's like the amount of rest you need, the amount of like especially with like remember before there was a pandemic and we like at least the NFL pretended that they cared about like CTE and stuff and like, no, we know it's a thing. We're looking out for you. And then, like, it's kind of a weird look if they're like, no. You can just turn around and get drafted and come play right away. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. No, the Pac-12 has no plans to play whatsoever. They're saying this to try and save face after canceling super early because they're dumb, but they have no plans to play. They don't give a shit.
Okay.
They don't care.
Robert, on a scale of 1 to 10, like, your excitement level for football.
Dude, I cannot be any less excited.
I didn't think you would be that excited.
Yeah, like I'm like I'll be a bandwagon fan when it comes to Texans. The Texans are doing
No, what
well.
about the Giants? Hop on the Giants bandwagon.
Yeah, okay, I guess. I don't even know. They're all over the channels, aren't they? Sure.
Robert, confirmed Giants fan. Done. Cool.
Yeah. I'm a sucker for the Cavs. And apparently the Giants have the thickest,
thighs, best thigh
the
team.
thighs. Yeah, that's what I meant.
We got the
The
thigh
best
guys,
thighs
as we
team.
call them. Yeah.
Mhm.
Danny Thighs and Say Thighs Barkley.
That guy.
We got him.
He's
We
my
got them.
favorite.
Yep.
Push your
See,
head
Robert
like a
gets it.
watermelon.
I'm glad that you're on board with our team. That maybe not that great this year, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Everybody that's been I got asked twice today, like how your Giants gonna do? I was like, they'll be a team. They'll be a team this year. I don't know if it's a good team. I'm not gonna say it will be. But they'll be a team, all right. But then, like other times, I'm just telling everybody they're gonna go to the Super Bowl. And if I just promise that every year, then eventually when they do it, then like, man, Alex knew.
Just say they're going to go to the Super Bowl. Don't say what year they're going to go to the Super Bowl.
Right, exactly.
Eventually, they will go.
Most likely.
I mean,
Most
I don't
likely.
think they'll go 200 years without going. So eventually,
I don't
they'll
know about like. Do you ever think this thought, Pat? I know you're as diehard like a Packers fan as I am a Giants fan, but in my mind, like a nightmare scenario to me is just like, will I ever see him in the Super Bowl again? Like, what
never
if
crossed my mind.
What if I went my whole life and I never saw him in the Super Bowl again? Like, how am I gonna live?
I've had Brett Favre and Aaron
what do I
Rodgers
do?
my whole life, and now I'm going to have Jordan Love, who's going to be a stud. It's just it is what it is. So he's going to learn for 3 or 4 years.
But you've seen them in a Super Bowl, Alex. So isn't that enough?
But to be scared
it
that
was
it won't happen
awesome.
again.
But that was such like a great high. It's like, what if I never get that again?
Yeah,
What if I'm-
because
what if
early
I'm
you
a
got to remember
Dallas
early on
Cowboys
in
fan,
Alex's
they never get that.
early in Alex's life, they weren't that good. They didn't have a franchise quarterback.
Dude,
Then
being a
you got
Giants
it for
fan
a period
was
of time.
when I graduated, and I've said it a million times on the podcast, but like I got all the shit for being a Giants fan from my Cowboys fans and just from other people that just were like, why the fuck are you like, fuck the Giants? Who gives a shit? They won it all after I got that shit. Like all the way through school, my senior year, I got to leave, be like, fuck you guys. They're the champs. And it was like the same exact thing in college where everybody that was shitting on the Giants, I got to leave with my team being the reigning champs, being like, fuck all y'all. I'm graduating. I'm out. So I was like, that was like, I personally take credit for the Giants winning the Super Bowl for me. I'm pretty sure that like somebody at some point was like Alex Middleton in Texas just really needing this dub, and they didn't win it because of me, but they won it like I'd like a little bit of a dedication for it, you know.
That raises the question though: if they win again, do you have to look at Rod and go, "Fuck you! I quit. We won again. New chapter."
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I do not have to do that. That's a totally different game. Totally different thing.
All right, I respect. You know, he's a
Totally
Bills fan anyway,
different.
so you're good.
He is a Bills fan.
You can just say "fuck you, Tessa," and I don't quit. That's what you get to do.
There we go. But yeah, football's back, man. I'm so excited. It's
Happy.
the most
So
wonderful time of
happy.
the year. It's the most wonderful time of the year. And I mean, we all had our doubts. We had our doubts. And it came through. And it's just like, it shows you.
I was scared, but I wouldn't say I had doubts. Like I
told
always
you,
thought football was going to be
we
played.
never hit that panic button. That panic button never came out of the fucking drawer. It was in the drawer the whole time. We had the lock on the drawer. We didn't even unlock it. We kept saying, don't worry. Just know if it gets canceled, it's going to be bad on our end. It's going to be bad on our end. We made threats. and obviously those threats were heard. But football is back, and obviously, if you've been listening to any of what we just said, we are very excited about it. Another sport that's back this week is tennis.
So
I
weak.
know we are all
So
huge
weak.
tennis guys, but Novak Djokovic, the number one tennis player in the U.S. Open, that I'm not going to lie, I didn't realize the U.S. Open was going on until this weekend.
It's tennis. Who cares?
Right, but like they're like, oh, Novak Djokovic got kicked out of the U.S. Open. It's like, that's already – oh, okay, cool. Like, that's the major – one of the majors of tennis is going on. Didn't know. But Novak Djokovic was mad. I don't know if he lost a point or whatever. He just turned around and just tried to spike a ball as hard as he could against the wall.
No, okay, first of all, already you're wrong.
Wait,
He did not spike it. Did you see the video?
He didn't
He
spike
was
it.
kind
He
of
just
pissed
shot
and
it as hard as he could.
bounced the ball and just kind of whacked it off to the side. Not hard
Right, I
at
guess
all.
spike would be spiking it down. He just fucking
Well, you
smashed
also
the
as
ball.
hard as he
Smashes
could.
the
No,
ball.
he did not smash it.
He
He
smashed it.
barely hit it. He bounced it once and then just kind of whacked it to the side. If he
But,
had hit it hard, okay.
for
So here's
for
what
like
happens.
him,
He
it
hits
wasn't.
the ball.
For you or me, that was like smashing the fuck out of that ball. 'Cause
No,
he's a
he
professional
hits
tennis
the
player,
ball
and
and
that had
it-
some fucking girth to it.
It hits a woman line judge in the neck. She's probably 15 feet away. If he had hit her hard, she would not have gotten back up. Like, it caught her by surprise. He hit that ball maybe 4 miles an hour. Like, he just swatted it off to the
It
side.
just looked
It wasn't
faster.
hard.
It looked faster the more.
And then it took, 15, 20 minutes. He went over, apologized, talked to the line judges, apologized to her again. And they go, oh, yeah, by the way, you're disqualified for that. Okay, what if it had gone 4 inches to the left and didn't hit her? What's the difference? Oh, because it did make contact, even though there was no intent behind it. And it was just frustration?
And she was taking every LeBron James flop. She must have taken every LeBron James flopping clinic that was available, watching every soccer flop video that you could, because you would have thought, and she's okay, so this is fine for us to make fun of it now, but you would have thought she got shot in the neck with like a fucking gun.
Dude, she fell in like 3 stages. Like, there was the sound and her
It was
like,
a
grabbing her
slow
neck.
mo.
Then
and it was like she saw
slumped
people were
against the
looking, and
wall.
then she milked it more. She was like,
She got like hit, and there was the initial reaction and sound, and she slumped against the wall, and then like fell to the ground, but in a controlled fall where like she was able to like land on her hands and knees, just like, what's happening? You got kind of hit by a ball. That's what's happening.
And then he tried to be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. And she was like weird and awkward about it too. Like, yeah. And like, it just made
First
it
of all,
worse.
if she was paying attention, wouldn't have happened.
You're a judge, right? Like, how are you judging the match if you're not watching where everything is?
I mean, it was in between, but like, you're on the court.
always keep your head on a swivel. That's what I always say.
Head on a swivel.
Whenever I was a judge in the U.S. Open, I always kept my head on a swivel.
All that being said, fuck him. He's an anti-vaxxer. I don't give a shit. Good. He lost some money.
It was kind of funny, right?
Oh, it's very funny. And it's ridiculous that he got thrown out. He should not have been. He was like 68-0 heading into this today, into that event for the year. But, yeah, you're an anti-vaxxer, so go fuck yourself. I don't give a shit. I'm mad at the principle, but not at the result for the person.
Yeah, and I mean, the lady's fine. The lady, like, if the lady was like hurt, we wouldn't be making fun of her. But it's like, all right, you laid it on a little thick. You laid it on a little thick, and hey, I mean, people do that. But it's just like, I hope that I'm never like the person that like does that. I'm like,
you know what reminded me of? Those like insurance fraud videos that you'll see when like someone has a dash cam so it gets caught, but like someone on a motorcycle will just like stop in front of them and then turn and like jump on their hood. They
dive
and
onto the
just,
car
like, and like slide off. That's what the fall reminded me of. Just the fakest.
Because at first she was startled, she grabbed her throat, but she grabbed her throat, and then it was like she saw that like all eyes were on her, and it was like, this is my time to shine.
Yeah. Like, it was I said 3-part, but it's really more of a 2-part fall where she falls to the side on the wall and then was like, oh, I got to keep going to the ground. And then like in a separate motion falls to the ground.
Yeah, it was like real-time slow motion, really. Was
like,
what it was.
If you can't handle being hit by a ball at 4 miles an hour, probably shouldn't be on a professional tennis court.
Although it is a pandemic, so maybe that was like that was just who they could get to like pass a COVID test.
It was like somebody's mom who was like, well, if I work for Jimmy, will he not lose his job? Okay.
Like whoever like the last place player was, like instead of like they may not have been able to hold qualifiers, but like, can either of your parents volunteer to be a judge?
Like,
and they're
like Little
mine
League.
can. All right, you're in. Yeah.
Little League when the
Like you get
the
to be an
umpires don't show
all-star.
up, so the dads have to do it.
Or like your dad is you're like the guy's dad that was like the manager. Like he's the all-star because it's like, well, I mean, your dad's gonna travel with the team. It's like, yeah, you just go on with it. You can be the all-star. It was like, you can be in the tournament, yeah, but your dad or your mom has to fucking judge.
That's great.
We're not gonna put him in the big matches, but just the early rounds. We'll put you right there. So yeah, U.S. Open and tennis. That's a comeback kid, and Novak Djokovic because he is disqualified. On our next comeback kid, this is maybe the biggest one I would say of the week is poopity scoop. Poopity scoop, as Robert would say. But that was one of my favorite end drops we've ever had before. But poop is back because Odell Beckham Jr. allegedly likes to get pooped on. Like that's a thing he's into.
Do you buy it?
I don't know.
I don't.
This is from the same show where the lady allegedly talked about allegedly hooking up with 7 Phoenix Suns players.
No, not hooking up. She blew 7 of them in a row in a hotel room.
Allegedly.
None of them have. Like,
right.
Nobody's confirmed.
Nobody has disputed the claims, but like we didn't see any 100% evidence. So we throw that alleged tag so we save ourselves from the legal teams. You know what I'm saying?
She told that story and apparently
say
made
whatever
a
you
bunch
want
of
to
money
say
on
alleged.
OnlyFans and said, I'm not naming any names. Within a week, she had named like 6 of the 7 players because all of a sudden the star was waning. Now this is what, a month later? And all of a sudden, the same type of shocking.
It's not her,
athlete,
though.
Like,
it's a different girl.
It's
the
one of the
show.
girls. Yeah, same show, but I don't buy it. Now, I don't doubt that she's hooked up with an athlete or something like that likes to be pooped on. I think they threw out Odell's name because it's a bigger name, and she probably has hooked up with him.
I could agree with that.
But she was like, well, it was actually the 3rd string practice squad linebacker, but nobody cares about him. If I say Odell, this will get traction, get our names back in the news.
Right. No, I agree with you.
And did you see Odell's Instagram caption?
He said something about I can stand. I don't care what shit you throw at me or whatever it is. And it's like, well, obviously, if you're into that, you wouldn't care. Yeah. But she alleged whatever. She claims that he was like, "Yo, send me a picture of you shitting," and so she like took a video of herself shitting. And then,
but made it as sexy as possible, according to her. Right, and I'm like, well, I don't know how that's possible.
How do you make a sexy shit video? Don't understand that. Then, she said he like paid for a plane ticket or whatever. He offered to pay for a plane ticket to fly out and do that, and it was just like, wait, what happened? Like, I don't know. That seems like a lot to like. You're Odell. You could probably just pay like a hooker to do it, right?
Yeah, there's much more discreet ways than Instagram models. It's like, hey, I want you to come poop on me.
Yeah. I mean, we don't kink shame here. But to me, it seems a little odd. It's a little weird. I mean, obviously, there's something like if you can think about it, somebody's into it. So there's definitely that's definitely a genre. But like. I was talking about on the morning show today, and Rod was saying, like, are you just like rich where you've just had so much sex that like you're like, what's next? What haven't I done? I haven't gotten pooped on. Maybe that's it.
I guess. I mean,
there's so much cleanup. Like, you can't. Do you do it on a bed? Because then you got to do sheets. Like, it's just like what? Like, what is this? How does this happen? I don't understand it.
Even if you do it in the shower, then you've got to spray it off, and then it's hot water hitting it, and the smell. It's gonna
bounce back, and like she's shitting on you. Then like, do you just like crawl to like the shower to like clean off afterwards, or do you just? I don't know.
Do you think they?
I don't know if I want to know.
Do you think they figured out the optimal diet so that when you do poop, it's just like contained in itself, like it's not sticky. You can like Like it doesn't. It's like one whole piece. It's not like
He doesn't want too much corn in it.
Right.
Like, don't eat corn because I'll see
He's like,
that
before you
shit.
fly out, I need you to eat Metamucil for a week.
Yeah, there's got to be like an optimal diet.
I bet. I don't know, dude. I mean, that was weird. And then it's funny that everyone's like, dude, what's up with your boy? I'm like, Odell is not on the Giants anymore, okay? Odell's not a Giants player. I don't know what he's into, man. And if he's into that, let him be into that.
Maybe he wasn't bleaching his hair all those years. He was just getting peed on.
Oh, that's
then
that's
he
a
moved
theory
to
I don't think
Cleveland.
we've looked into.
And he was like,
The
well, now that I'm
Browns
in Cleveland, I should try the Cleveland Steamer.
Do you think he like wears the Browns jersey because it is brown? So it's like maybe you don't even know. Like, has he played with a shit jersey before?
No, because you'd smell it.
Right, but like also solid way to get your defender to not want to man you. Like
That's true.
I'm not playing man coverage
Mark
against the
Schlereth
guy
used
covered
to
in
piss
shit.
himself every game.
Who did?
Mark Schlereth. He used to piss himself every game.
Oh yeah, he's a piss dog. But like, I mean, lots of guys have peed themselves during games they've talked about. But like,
Yeah, it's pee.
there's a huge difference.
You don't have time
in,
to go to the locker room.
pissing
You just
and shitting,
pee.
and then also a huge difference in
Big
like having
difference.
someone come shit on you. And I mean, I'm not
Yes.
talking about. I get it. You play for the Browns. So there were all those jokes like the Browns are already used to getting shit on. Like, it's still gross to me. It's gross. I mean,
It's very gross.
If you're into that stuff, you be.
I mean,
into it.
no
We don't
shame
kink
if
shame,
you're
but
into
still.
it. Like, that's what you do. And if it's consenting, fine. Just, it is gross. It is objectively gross. It's weird. But if that's what makes you come, then if they're cool with it too, go for it.
Yeah,
I'm
but
still
that
going to
was
call you weird.
maybe the biggest sports story I feel like this week.
It had to be.
Definitely most controversial for sure. But yeah, Odell Beckham and Poop. Poop is a comeback kid this week because of that story. Our other comeback kid is second straight week of a comeback kid is Tony Hawk, because Tony Hawk is fucking sick. I downloaded the game.
So much fun.
It's awesome. I love it. The one thing I'd have to say is there's like not the story mode, and I was kind of hoping for the story mode, but
Well, there wasn't a story mode in the first two anyway. It's just you advance through parks.
I thought there was the story mode. Or was that
Nope,
later
not in
on?
the first two. I think that started like Tony Hawk 4 or 5.
Where you're in like Spain, you have to run from the bulls and stuff.
No, that was in Tony Hawk 2. At the end of it, there was a bull ring where you could do the loop.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. I didn't really
That's
play
available
after 3.
now. But still, yeah. I played a lot of Tony Hawk this weekend.
We got
Pretty
to
sick
play
at
each
it.
other soon.
Yeah, Emma's into it. We were playing graffiti. I'm figuring it out. I'm more of a park skater as opposed to a street skater. But I don't know. Do you play with anybody in particular, or did you make your own guy?
I mean, I started off with Tony, but then I made my own guy.
I as well. I made my own guy too. He's pretty sick. Caleb Crawdad.
Yeah.
He's not too bad.
I just made myself, but that is
okay.
cooler
Caleb.
making a funny guy.
Caleb Crawdad's pretty awesome. And I'm pretty far into it, I would say. But
Should have made Fart Man. Damn it.
You should have made Fart Man. Yeah, Tony Hawk, it's awesome. I saw you did a little bit of twitching this weekend. Did you twitch with Tony Hawk?
No, just me and my buddies playing Warzone.
Okay. I meant to do it, but I just got caught up doing a bunch of different shit this weekend, so I never got a chance to do that. But maybe this upcoming weekend is football. But maybe Friday or something like that.
Maybe Friday, yeah.
We can
no football Friday.
do a little Tony Hawk playing. But Tony Hawk, absolutely awesome. It's like $40 as opposed to like the $60 for a regular game. And just the soundtrack has been updated enough. Like you get Machine Gun Kelly on it. Local band Junk Bunny was on it with their song Sedona that we've seen played on the Buzz live as well. Seen played on the Buzz. But it had all the old classics and stuff too. It took you back. It took you back for sure.
Yeah.
And,
It's so much nostalgia. It's great. I haven't finished Tony Hawk 1 yet to get to Tony Hawk 2, which I think you can really play them whenever you want. But
yeah, you can.
I'm not crushing it all the time for hours on end, so I'm letting it last for a while.
That's good. That's good. It's a pretty great game though. So Tony Hawk, Pro Skater. Tony Hawk's back again, guys.
I've got a fill-in one here too before you do
ahead.
your final one. Xbox is back, baby. Did you see they made the announcement today? The Xbox Series X, the next generation console, It's going to retail at $499, which was huge because it being the next generation, a lot of people were thinking this could get up to the, so basically $500. They're saying it could be $700 for it. No, $599, kept it at the same price, and they're actually doing a lower priced one. It's called the Xbox Series X is the new one. The Xbox Series S is a stripped down, smaller version. I don't know what the big differences are between it, but that one's only going to be $300.
Ooh.
So that's pretty fucking big. They made the announcement today, so I would guess in the next week we'll get Sony's announcement that it will be slightly cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
This is
And
what
Dreamcast
Sony did last
will launch
time.
their new one.
Yeah, it's what they did last time. Sony waited for Xbox to announce, and they announced slightly cheaper. But this is the first time that Xbox has actually been more powerful than the PlayStation.
So yeah.
I'm excited.
Does that mean like our Xboxes are gonna just be like not good anymore?
I don't know. Well, here's the other big thing: is they announced it's dropping next month. It comes out It comes out in a month and 1 day. They said I think the 22nd you can start pre-ordering it. It comes out November 10th, which I think everyone was kind of expecting December. So
Like
the fact
Christmas,
that it's going to come out this early is fucking big. I put aside my money months ago for this.
I did not.
So as soon as the only thing that's going to be a bitch is transferring over all the games that I have.
So we'll have everything will be like backwards compatible and everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, everything that I've bought has been through Xbox Live, and maybe some of the Xbox original games won't transfer, but I'm not worried about that. But like, Red Dead, Madden, all these things will transfer over.
Whew. All right, then we're good. We're good.
So that's what I had, and what about your final one?
My last one is crawfish again. The streak is at 34 weeks, and it's not even difficult anymore, guys. This is just me, a mere formality of me letting you guys know how many weeks we're at, and it's going to be 52 before you know it. So,
being in Houston,
34 weeks.
Maybe you should stop at 34 because you don't want to outdo the great one, the Dream.
Oh, but my dream is 52.
Or was he 32?
No, he was 34.
Yeah, okay. I thought so. I doubted myself there for a second.
He was 34. And then so was Earl Campbell.
I don't know. I was just thinking.
Wasn't Nolan Ryan? What was Nolan Ryan?
No idea. 30-something.
So, yeah, that might have been all three of those guys, which is kind of crazy if that's all Houston stuff.
But Hakeem is the greatest Houston athlete of all time.
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing.
Nolan bounced around a little bit. Earl was here, but he wasn't as long.
J.J. Watt, ever heard of him?
He's great, but Hakeem has had the longevity without the injuries.
And the championships.
He's arguably a top 10 player in the history of the NBA.
No, I'm not disagreeing that I would say Hakeem is the number one Houston athlete.
Yeah.
Of all time. But, so, yeah.
Love you,
Crawfish, their comeback kid, and that will conclude that segment. Let's move along now to our What Would Jesus Do segment, where we have told you guys, like a lot of us had those WWJD bracelets, but we never got the answers to what would Jesus do. I think it was supposed to be more of ask yourself what you think he might do, and then do that. And since I never really got an answer, I decided that you guys send us your questions and we'll tell you guys what Jesus would do. Use the hashtag PTGWWJD to @PassTheGravyPod. I'm at Alex J. Middleton. Pat's at NotPatDN, and Robert is at Robert Barbosa 03. Hashtag PTGWWJD to @PassTheGravyPod. This is our What Would Jesus Do intro from our good friend Jingle Blake Wonder.
Jesus, what would Jesus do? Jesus, what would Jesus do? Put him in a situation in a modern time. If you wrote this jingle, do you think he'd make it rhyme? So think about this crazy world in which we live today, and how would Jesus handle it in any given way?
This week's What Would Jesus Do comes to us from our good buddy, Fernando Ramon, at OnlyBigFern on Twitter. Fernando says, what would JC have at the last brunch?
Nothing, because there's no such thing as brunch.
Well, there is. There's definitely a thing.
Brunch isn't a real thing.
There's
brunch
definitely
isn't real.
A thing.
It's a made-up lie.
I'm drinking a Southern brunch right now, so that shows that it is real. It's a real thing. He would have to have a Southern brunch at the last brunch, right?
Yeah, I was going to say he would definitely right away. He'd order a pitcher of orange juice, And most people would think, oh, he's going to turn that orange juice into mimosas. No, he would turn
know.
it into a Southern brunch.
But we know. Because he's JC and he can turn things into booze.
Yeah.
Obviously, he'd have he'd probably have shrimp and grits.
Torn.
Nice
I
stuff.
think he'd either go with like a breakfast sandwich type thing, or would he just go, fuck it, I'm going like steak and eggs.
Oh, it is steak and eggs. But I'm saying what would he have at the last brunch? I feel like there's
Lamb kebab?
A lot of things. There's a bunch of things he could have.
Lamb kebab, and because it's brunch, it would also have avocado skewered on the kebab. Avocado
toast lamb kebab.
See, that's what it is. It's an avocado toast sandwich with lamb on it. Some sort of lamb dish.
Yep.
Just to really drive home. He'd be like, get it, guys? Lamb, I'm Jesus. And they're like, dude, we get it. Like,
dude,
you don't have to pour it on so thick, Jesus.
Yeah, come on, man.
And he's like, sorry, I've had 19 Southern brunches. I'm not good with subtlety right now.
Oh, no big deal. I'm just dying for your sins. Excuse me.
Yeah, some sort of like lamb breakfast sandwich, I think.
Dude,
is what
I don't
he would
know.
go with.
I think he's a shrimp and grits guy.
Could be.
I could see JC.
Shrimp and grits is always solid.
So yeah, I think shrimp and grits.
Maybe like a little fried chicken with some grits.
Oh yeah, chicken and waffles. So there's some because to me, I'm just imagining that entire table you see the Last Supper is just filled up with brunch food. So it's like there's lots of options. It's a buffet setup that he's just hooking up himself with. Like, I want this, I want some of this, I want some of this, I want some of this.
I will say this: at our restaurant, our chicken and waffles comes with a layer of grits right in between the chicken and the waffle.
That sounds phenomenal.
It's a nice thick Belgian waffle. So that's what I think he's going to go. Chicken and waffles with some grits. I think that's
okay. Chicken and waffles with some grits.
Just ultimate savory.
Says it doesn't exist. So that was a good WWJD. Hashtag PTGWWJD to @PassTheGravyPod. If you guys would like to weigh in. Oh, do we do our picks segment or let's do our Big Brother update real fast.
Okay.
Then we'll get into picks. Then we'll go into the rest of the segments and wrap things up. But our quick recap and Big Brother pool update. If you guys were in like brought to you by Pass the Gravy Bro, I guess. Check out our Big Brother recap podcast. Pat hops on. I think you're gonna do the Wednesday episode today. Pat's usually on the Thursday episode as well, and we have Chris on with us Sundays and Thursday.
I don't know about Thursday tomorrow though, just because football.
That's true.
It's gonna be difficult.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, whatever.
We'll
Emma and I are doing it.
Maybe I can just keep that on the side screen.
Emma and I will for sure be a part of that. But yeah, the Big Brother pool. Let's give you a quick update. Kesar was sent home last week. I had him in the Big Brother pool. So after we all got first, second, and third last year, Pat and I are already out. So that's good for the listeners. Right now, Bailey and Davon are nominated and put up on the block, so either one of them could be going home tomorrow. So Brandon Whitehead, you are represented by Bailey, and Ashley Wilkins is represented by Davon. One of you two could be joining Pat and myself as the evicted house club or house guest club, and you would just not be winning anything for you. So that's the update on our Big Brother 22 pool. To listen to everything going on in the house, hear our full recap, complete updates. We compare what happened on the feeds to what actually was being shown on the show, and then we'll give you guys some spoilers sometimes too. Check out Pass the Gravy Bro. Make sure you subscribe to that Pass the Gravy Bro podcast. You can listen to it free on the iHeartRadio app, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you're listening to Pass the Gravy. Pass the Gravy Bro is there as well. And just hit that subscribe button and give it a 5-star review, even if you're not listening. Just hook it up. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's move along to the PTG Picks segment. And this week, we'll say the PTG Pick segment is brought to you by our very good friends at Southern Star Brewing Company, the best beer in all of Earth. We've been drinking these Southern brunches right now. I did see, I don't know if you saw today, they put out the Lil Cal low cal IPAs, low calorie IPAs. It's an awesome can. Every can they put out is awesome. If you want that IPA with some low calories, it's perfect right now. And I believe it will be available very, very soon from our good friends at Silent Star Brewing Company. You can probably go up to the brewery and check it out. 3525 North Fraser Street up in Conroe. The brewery and tap rooms are open. They have very strict social distancing guidelines. You got to wear the mask. There's no lingering at the bar. You got to be sitting at a table of 8 people or less, and you got to be wearing a mask when you're not drinking. It's a lot of fun. It is the coolest tap room I've ever been to. That whole area of Southern Star is awesome up there, and there is truly something for everybody at Southern Star Brewing Company, the best beer in the entire world, the official beer sponsor of Past the Great Podcast, and our PTG Picks segment, which begins right now. All right. If you don't recall, last year we began this. I think was it like midway through the season, or was it the very beginning of the season? I don't know. Whatever. I think it might have been the very beginning of the season. But
I believe it was the beginning.
We pick 3 games a week, Pat and I do, and they have to be against the spread or over-unders. Now, we are getting these lines on Wednesday, but we are picking from the same ESPN lines. So if these lines fluctuate, our picks stay exactly where they are as we're saying them right now. I guess we had a couple of the same ones this week, but that's not going to be common going forward. We're just going to allow it to happen right now at the end of the year. I don't even know what the penalty was last year. I don't think I could drink Southern Star for one of the episodes. Wasn't that one of them?
Yeah, it was like you had to go a week without Southern Star.
Yeah, and it sucked. But yeah, so I don't know what our punishment is this year, but we'll
maybe we do a beard
out.
bet.
Maybe
you got to shave the beard. I don't know for how long, or maybe it's just like we got to get rid of the beard. Both of us. I don't know about you. I've had a beard since I was 19. I have not been clean shaven since then.
I have not had a beard that long. So I don't know. We'll figure it
So
out.
I got the gobble down here. It helps hide the fatness.
17 weeks to discuss it, or even longer than that, including playoffs.
Yeah.
But like we're gonna pick 3 games against the spread and or over unders. Here we go. This is our PTG Picks segment for Week 1 of the 2020 NFL season. Pat, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Right.
Of course, had to pick my boys Packers +3 versus Minnesota. It just coming out the gates. Of course, I'm gonna pick my boys. I expect them to straight up win.
I also had that one that we will share that pick. I will weigh in on my. I think that I think Minnesota had. I think that they overachieved last season.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I'm not saying that they're not good, but just one, Kirk Cousins plays for Minnesota, so if there's any crunch time or anything, I just don't see him getting it done. And 2, I don't know. I for some reason I'm skeptical.
Both teams are going to regress.
I think I could see both teams for sure.
I don't see the Packers winning 13 again. They were very fortunate in some games last year to get to 13. 13 wins is a massive amount.
I think they get this one done, though, and especially getting the 3 points. That's just one more thing. Yeah, like you said, I think they win outright. I feel like they go and they get the job done, and Minnesota is going to just regress a little bit. So I'm going to take Packers +3 as well. What's your next one, Pat?
The next one we both also had was Broncos at home +1.5. No preseason games, shortened training camp. Going into altitude, I think is going to be difficult for Tennessee. I mean, that's kind of basically what it is for me.
It's our
hard.
dumb brains just being like, altitude is high.
Well,
they
also,
can't breathe that
Denver
that
usually
well.
does well early in the season at home, just because people aren't in full season condition form yet. So I think it's going to be even more so this year.
And with a pandemic and no preseason, I definitely, for sure. I think so. Even though Von Miller may be out for the season. Did you see that?
I did.
That would be a huge blow to the Broncos.
Almost definitely out for the season. I think best case, perfect scenario, he's still out 3 months is what I saw.
That sucks.
So, it sucks. Nick Chubb is back, though. Hopefully they said he's not going to be 100%, but, you still got a pass rusher there. And it just, like I said, especially in the second half, man, they're going to be so fucking tired. It's hard to get used to that altitude quickly. So, I got that one. And my final one, I took New England, Miami under 42.5. Don't think Miami is going to be very good, but New England with Cam at the helm, it's going to be different for them. And I don't think Miami's best weapon, without a doubt, is Devontae Parker, and you've got the best cornerback in football guarding him with Gilchrist. So I think that's going to severely hamper Miami's ability to move the ball on offense.
I mean, I think that the Patriots had like half their defense opt out, so I would assume they may be giving up some points. But you're right, early on in the season,
a lot of them are backups, but it is depth that they lost there. But early in the season, Miami's not going to be very good. Again, unless this is just one of those random Fitzy games where he fucking throws for 320 and 4 touchdowns, which he does 2-3 times a year.
It's like a week 1 thing for him to do, probably too.
But like, I don't see a lot of points happening in that game.
Belichick knows without Brady, without Gronk, he's going to have all eyes on him. I think he's going to 100% have that squad ready to go.
But I think there is going to be a lot more running. I just
don't see it being a high-scoring game.
Yeah, I don't either. I think he's going to try and grind down the clock a lot. Use Cam as a battering ram as well. Keep the ball in his hands.
Keep your defense off the field as much as you can.
Yeah. So I don't see that score getting very high. So I felt the under 42.5 was a pretty good play.
All right, I'm going to go with an under as well, and then I'm going to take the Giants and Steelers under 47.5. That's the early Monday Night Football game this week before the Broncos-Titans. The Steelers have, like, one of the best defenses in the league. The Giants have a second-year quarterback, and I think are going to be in a more run-heavy offense. I don't see – I think Big Ben may struggle a little bit just because, again, not having these preseason reps you're getting. I think everybody's going to be a little bit rusty. I think the defenses are going to have the advantage this week. I'm going to say that I don't think the Giants win, but I think that it's a fairly low scoring game. I almost took the Steelers minus 5.5 as well, because I think the Steelers are cover on that, but I'm going to go under the 47.5. I could see it being like a 28-7 game or something like that early on. I hope the Giants, let's hope the Giants just come out and absolutely prove me wrong and score 50 points or whatever. But against that Steelers defense, I just don't see it happening. So I'm going to go under 47.5. So I have Packers +3, Giants, Steelers under 47.5, Broncos +1.5. Pat has Packers +3, Patriots and Dolphins under 42.5, and Broncos +1.5. I'll put up a PTG Picks graphic like I did last year. We'll post it on Friday if you guys want to go see the actual visualization of it all. But those are our 3 picks for week 1 of the 2020 season. And I am glad we're talking football right now, my friend. I'm very glad we're talking football. Also very glad we're talking about gambling, because I've been getting that itch.
You got a problem.
NFL itch. No, it's an NFL itch. It's an NFL itch. Let's move along to not cool, right? It's not cool.
Yeah.
Right now? Oh, okay. Well, we're flying by this episode. Robert is probably stoked. He's like, this may be the shortest episode we've ever done, but don't worry.
All right, let's slow it down.
Make a 4-hour. We'll make it a 4-hour. Not cool segment. This episode, or this segment of Not Cool, like most, is brought to you by our good friends at Alamo Remedy CBD. Something that's not cool is when you're stressing out, when you're not able to go to sleep. It's something that will help you, that you're going to love, is all of the products from Alamo Remedy CBD at alamoremedy.com. Pat right now is using the Alamo Remedy lotion, the cucumber melon lotion. It's awesome. I put some on my ankle after soccer the other day. I was feeling like $1 million. The best part is that almost all of their products, all of the non-hemp flower products, are priced at $17.99 and contain 250 milligrams of CBD, which is almost 50% off of the national brands. They believe in their products. They know you guys are going to love their products, and that's why I don't feel the need to upcharge you. They're a pretty reliable company. They're just saying, hey, guys, we know you're going to get this stuff for an affordable rate. We know you guys are going to keep coming back because it's good stuff, and that's why we're telling you guys about it. As you can see, if you're watching the video version, we all use this stuff, and Pat is continuing to use his lotion as we're going on. If you use our promo code PTG at checkout, you're going to get 10% off of your order at checkout at alamoremedy.com. Use the code PTG at checkout. They've also got the new hemp flower. It smells like weed. It's not weed. It smells like weed. It kind of looks like it. If you smoke it, you can roll it up. You can use it to cook with too, if you want to break it down like that. But you can also just roll it up and smoke it, and it gives you that chilled, relaxed, cool vibe without the fogginess. You're not gonna go out and get the paranoia of everybody knows. Like everybody knows I'm out here high. Like you're not gonna get that, and it's not like a high. It's just a relaxed, chill. Like it'll help you fall asleep. If you had a stressful day, you're gonna be able to just sit in front of the TV, chill, and be able to do other stuff too, because it's not gonna have that mental fogginess. Either Alamo Remedy CBD, the best CBD products out there. AlamoRemedy.com. Use our promo code PTG at checkout for 10% off your order. That's Alamo Remedy. Promo code PTG at checkout for 10% off your order. And go follow them on Twitter and Instagram at Alamo Remedy and at Alamo Remedy CBD. If you're using any Alamo Remedy products, make sure you tag them. Let them know you're supporting the people supporting us. Alamo Remedy CBD. AlamoRemedy.com. Use our promo code PTG at checkout for 10% off of your order. They are who's bringing you our Not Cool segment this week.
Not cool, man. Dude, that's not cool.
Not cool. Not cool.
Dude, that's not cool, man. Dude, that's not cool.
Not cool. Not cool.
Dude, that's not cool. Not cool. Not cool.
Does anybody want to go first out of our
I'll go
Not
first.
Cools? All right.
I've got a couple I can run through quick. First of all, as anyone who's watching the video version right now knows, I got a stuffed up nose and it's annoying as shit. Like, it's killing me. It's annoying. Like, I feel like I don't ever really have allergies, but I imagine this is what it's like. Like, my nose keeps running. You guys can probably hear I sound nasally as shit right now. My eyes are watering too. Like, I'm not sick, but I'm just this sucks. At like 4 different times I've had just fucking toilet paper stuffed up my nose during this pod to try and get it to stop leaking, but I've taken 3 Mucinex today and just won't stop, and it fucking sucks. My other one is yesterday. I was hanging out with my buddy for our draft. I came back home to grab my bathing suit to go swimming over at his parents' house, and while I was here, I accidentally knocked over the little tray table I have right here that had my 2 limited edition 3 years that I've been waiting for whiskey bottles from my buddy's distillery. And, you know, it's carpet and everything in here, but, I was just wearing baggy shorts. My wallet caught the edge of it as I was walking away and knocked it over. And sure enough, the one that has, I'm not going to show any labels, but the one that has this much in it survived.
Nice.
But the one that was completely full landed on top of that one and completely shattered. So.
And then with like liquor, then your whole room smells like it for a little bit. And
That's not what I'm worried about. It's just I've been waiting. So then I had to go back up there this morning and buy another bottle for fucking $73. So that fucking sucked dropping that goddamn money on it again. But it's worth it because it is some of the best shit I've ever had in my life. But I was just like, God, like, it was literally as I was turning to walk out of my house. And then that delayed me another 15 fucking minutes. And boy, just can't catch a break right now. It was terrible.
Yeah, that's not great. That's not great.
Yeah, so that's what I got.
I'll go next. I feel like this weekend I've had, whether it be barbecue and just like eating acidic-y shit, I've just had heartburn a bunch. Anyway, it was like 3 days in a row where like I could feel it coming up, and then like I was over at somebody's place at one point this weekend, and like when you don't have Tums on you and you're just like having to like eat the heartburn, where you're just like, I want to still hang out, but like, everything hurts right now. This is not fun. And I just had to like suck it up for like 3-4 hours. That was definitely not cool. And then like, I mean, I usually just treat it with Tums and it goes away and that's fine. But like heartburn fucking sucks.
What does heartburn feel like?
Like, kind of like, it's just like, it's like you have like acid in your like in your chest coming up. Yeah. Like in your esophagus. And it's just like, it just like burns constantly.
Would you rather have heartburn or diarrhea?
Ideally neither, but like if I had access to Tums, then I'd go heartburn because then I could just pop a Tums and it's over with. The diarrhea kind of hampers you, I think, a little bit more, but I would say like the Tums is the heartburn is probably more uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Robert, how old are you?
That's a little personal. I'm 20. I'm 25.
Okay, yeah, you got a couple more years, and then it'll be like.
You've never been a heartburn guy.
Never, ever.
Which is shocking. I can't say that I've never had it, but I can't think of one time I've ever had it. Which is shocking considering the way I treat my body and the way that I eat. or at least the way I used to eat.
Yeah. It feels like, have you ever like held in like throw up? And like you just feel it like burn. It's like almost like that, but it's like you're not holding in throw up. It's just like a constant burning sensation.
So you're feeling,
I
you're
get
feeling it in
but
your
I just-
chest, not your throat.
It's kind of like coming up. It's like the top of your chest and like the bottom of your throat, like all the way up.
Mhm.
Like I could kind of
Just
feel it. Like,
it's just coming in your throat.
Yeah, it's just coating your throat. It's a throat coat. That's what it is. It's just loads of it in your throat. Loads and loads in the throat. But so yeah, heartburn is definitely a not cool. And I'm really like I don't know. It was like barbecue and torchy, spicy, like eating spicy food and stuff like that was like totally, I think, what contributed to it. And then I was like, but I like all that stuff. I don't want to have like repercussions every time I enjoy it. And I like getting old sucks. So that's another side not cool. Where it's like I'm getting to that point where like shit. Now what?
You should just be a 90s TV boss where like whatever job there was always that boss that you were causing so many problems for them that they always had the Pepto-Bismol they were just drinking.
I don't think that's what Pepto-Bismol does.
I feel
It's
like it
upset
does.
stomach. Upset stomach, indigestion,
No, heartburn,
diarrhea.
diarrhea. Heartburn's part of it.
Okay.
It's not in that order. I know. I'm trying to think of the tune. I know heartburn's one.
Upset stomach, indigestion, diarrhea.
Something heartburn diarrhea. I can't remember what the something is though.
I honestly like something better.
But like,
Taking off a
come
piece
to
of
think
that
of it,
Chrysler car.
Pepto does that much. Why isn't it more celebrated? Like in the 90s, it could cure 9 things. Come on, like that's one of the greatest inventions since air conditioning.
For real. It really
And
is.
people shit on the taste. I kind of liked it as a kid.
It's upset stomach.
Upset
So it's
stomach, indigestion, heartburn, something, diarrhea.
yeah, nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach,
Heartburn.
diarrhea.
Yeah, heartburn's number 2, bro.
Okay.
So get you some Peptol and just be like, I can't take this anymore. You guys are
the
wild
Tums,
cards.
The Tums is kind of just like that's just.
Yeah, I'm
from
sure it's a more modern problem for fixing
it's
exactly what you have.
crazy. But yeah, so heartburn.
It's just funnier with Pepto.
That's why not cool. Me and Odell could be big Pepto guys this week.
What about you, Robert?
So for the past 2 weeks, I've kind of like had people come at me because of the things that I don't like. So it was Nirvana, Metallica. Then last week you were coming at me because I said Taylor Swift's new album wasn't good or not
I
for
told
me.
you not to go after the Swifties, dude.
So I guess my not cool is really just those haters. It's just
The
those
haters.
people that are coming after me. It's like, hey, you guys need to chill, all right? Not everyone likes everything that you like.
I like
Touche.
that. That's my my favorite gift to drop when people do stuff like that, like on the morning show, is the Big Lebowski, which you probably haven't seen, but it's he goes, "Hey man, that's like just your opinion."
Just like your opinion, man. Fucking love that movie.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite quotes ever because it is just like, "Why are you coming at me? This has nothing to do with you. This has nothing to do with you. I'm allowed to think these things." But then like it's also fun to do like, "Your opinions are trash."
I have honestly, I felt this way a little bit this week too, but I fully brought it on myself and I wanted to.
K-pop?
If you guys
Oh,
remember, yeah, the K-pop, I had 2 or 3 people coming at me
They're
constantly.
mean though. They're
for
mean.
like 3 days. But it made me laugh. Because at one point I even hit him with one of like, because here's the thing, they can't meme. They cannot meme at all.
They can't
All their
meme. No,
memes
they
are
can't
just videos of K-pop people or pictures of them, and most of the time with music that is not their own music in the background, and that's all it is. Occasionally they'll send you a picture with like a couple words on it that relate to what you're talking about, but most of the time it doesn't. So I actually hit one of them with, at one point I was like, man, they say the left can't meme, but K-pop really can't fucking meme. And then they're all calling me 50 years old and all this stuff. And then finally one of them called me xenophobic and was like, why do you hate Korean people? And that's when I broke down. I go, no, honestly, I don't. I've got nothing. Like, I love
See, that's
Koreans.
where they, dude.
And
That's like you gotta own it. Be like, no, fuck you. I don't hate anything about Korean people. I just think your music is trash. I think K-pop is
no,
trash.
I didn't even do that. I was just like, listen, My buddy told me that if I put this out online, you people would find me and come after me. And I was bored, so I figured I'd take a day and a half to do this. And then they were like, but why do you hate Koreans? And I was like, I just said I don't. I was like, you're not getting this. Like, it's just, this is all a joke to me. I'm messing with you guys. And then they stopped responding. And then this was all done for like 2.5, 3 days. And then out of nowhere, another person found the post, and just 9 in a row, 9 different fucking posts of just a random K-pop video with music that's not theirs. Like, one of them, like, I think at one point they're like, you just hate it because you don't understand our music and blah, 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 all this shit because it's in a different language. I was like, dude, your video's in my language. Like, that's not them singing. So what is the point
And
of your
also,
meme?
if I don't understand it and it's in a different language, why do you fucking care?
But I didn't even respond to that second person. But, like, for, like, 4.5, 5 hours, like, every 30 minutes, they would just send me another reply. Just like, you're 50 years old. K-pop video with not their music behind it. And then it would just be like, you don't know what you're talking about. 9 K-pop dudes just staring into the camera like they're gonna fuck me.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, those K-pop stands, bro.
One of
it
them,
was
It's a different level.
so funny because like I thought I was done. Like when I was finally, I was like, oh, that was a fun day and a half, and then like 3 days later, it happened again, and I was like, this is awesome. I might do this once a week now.
You should. I saw
One of them
Josh Tree
actually-
was getting on it.
yeah,
Yeah.
one of them actually ended up being kind of like, I guess, nice, or it just like ended like the very first guy. And when you told him like what bands you like, and you went like NSYNC, JT, or whatever, he's like, "Oh, I can't." It's like I can't hate on that. I like that too. And then that was the end of it.
Agree to disagree,
Yeah,
though.
no, that's I forgot about that when I was like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys in 98 Degrees. You know, the classics, and he was like, they are great.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, I love this guy. I want to be friends with this guy.
Dude, trolls online are pretty funny, regardless of like,
It's
like.
It's
It's
fun
just fun to
troll
kind of
like
stir it
that
up
when, like,
sometimes.
There's
like,
no malice behind it. It's just I'm bored and I want to get you all riled up.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
say anything mean. Except no, at one point I did say that Waylon Jennings and George Jones would light their stage on fire.
And they took that as a threat. So
Yeah. And they were like, they suck. I'm like, you don't even know who either of those people are.
But just that's a surefire way to get some engagement on your posts going forward is trash K-pop, and if you build that tweet, they will come. If you build that,
I might
tweet,
just
they
send
will
out
come.
one next time, just be like, hey, K-pop, who wants to fight? Just to
K-pop, suck it. And then they're like, what? Why?
oh, you know, it'll probably be a good one because I bet
that
this would get them going.
D-Generation X, the suck it meme.
Trump greater sign K-pop. I bet that one would get some great interaction.
Probably.
But I think because the
Probably
funniest
see an
thing,
uptick.
what if they come after me, but then like Trump stands also find it, and like I start a war in my comments?
It's just Twitter burns down. You just hate your vengeance, but
That would be
I'm kind
fucking
of
hilarious.
I'm kind of interested to see how that would go. So maybe do that.
I'm sure in like a week or so I'll get bored and I'll go after K-pop again just to see what
That's
happens.
good. That's
Hopefully
good.
I do this enough to where like they start to recognize my name and someone keeps commenting going, he's just a troll, don't bite.
I've realized in the last week I got caught in like a troll back and forth. My friend was talking about the Lakers and we were kind of talking about basketball and I was making a joke and then somebody just searched Lakers, I guess, and just started coming at us. And
I
was
saw
like,
that.
I don't know who this is, but I realized that like I have enough memes to just go back and forth on just exclusive, like very mean-spirited memes. My friend was throwing stats and I was just like, shut the fuck up, nerd. What do you know? Go look up your fucking stats, you idiot.
That's what I
And-
did after a while too. I just started throwing memes. I wasn't even replying to them. I was just hitting
He
them
was
with
like,
memes.
what are you doing? It was like we had two people coming in from different angles, and he left us alone after a while, which is really. I didn't.
He
want
was
to go on
Germany
that
and he
at
tried to
first,
fight a
but,
war on two fronts. Just
like,
couldn't
dude,
do it.
You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't troll the troll, and I would like to own up that I am the troll. So therefore, if you just want to get into a troll battle, that's my home field, you know, as my home field
Yeah.
advantage, and I'm gonna crush it with that. So that was our not cool segment, guys. So it was a solid little crop of not cools, guys. Solid little crop of not cools. Let's move along to our final segment of the week, the answers segment. Now, there's no such thing as a stupid question.
Stupid people.
Agree to disagree. But if you would like to weigh in and let us know what your thoughts are on anything, you want to get our thoughts on anything, you want to weigh in and get a question from us answered, hit us up. It's a high thought, something you see on a billboard, something you've been waiting to ask the guys from Pass the Gravy forever. You can finally do that. Hashtag PTG Answers. At Pass the Gravy Pod on Twitter. I'm at Alex J. Milton. Pat's at not Pat Deanna. Robert is at Robert Barbosa 03. And then if you don't have Twitter, you can also use our email address, answers at passthegravypod.com. But we do check Twitter first. Let's go into our answers segment. Brought to you by our good friends at Little M Air Fresheners, the best air fresheners in the entire world. My favorite air freshener, Pat's favorite air freshener, Robert's favorite air freshener. You know, those baby back bitch little trees that some people hang over their rear view mirrors. They cost like 1,000 trees in real life to chop down. But Little M air fresheners, they plant a tree every single time. And by plant a tree, I mean we've bought birdseed, and I throw out birdseed every time that they make a sale. So if so facto, that's basically planting a tree. Basically save the environment, buy a Little M air freshener, and then also you'll be like, oh, you're right, these are way better than any stupid ass fucking tree that I could have bought. Little M air freshener. I promise you, fellas, get your girl's car washed, get you some Little M air fresheners, throw one of those in there, and she'll be like, oh my God, my car's so shiny and it smells nice. And you're like, yeah, babe, no big deal. And then you're probably getting some poon later on that night because girls like it when their car is shiny and smells nice and when they don't have to do it. You know, fill that tank up with some gas too. What, Pat? Oh my God, it's shiny.
No, just so you're gonna get some poon.
Hey,
fill your tank up and then fill up with
helping guys
poon.
get poon for years now. Helping guys get poon.
The official air
Nam.
freshener of guys getting poon.
Of getting poon. Mark that. I don't know if that's what they want us to go with as their slogan, but it's the Pass the Gravy slogan.
Oh God.
Get some poon. Get your girl a Little M air freshener. LittleMshop.com. LittleEMShop.com. The best air fresheners in the entire world. They also got some stickers. They got some bags for the girls. They got all kinds of awesome stuff. I promise you, you will not be disappointed with your Little M air freshener purchase. LittleMshop.com. That's LittleEMShop.com. Any orders over $10 or more, you're going to get free shipping on, which is a great deal. LittleMshop.com. That's LittleEMShop.com. If you get anything from Little M Shop, hit them up on Twitter at Little M Tweets. Also, hit them up on the Instagram at Little M Shop. It's LittleMshop.com, LittleEMShop.com, the official air freshener sponsor of Pass Gravy Podcast and our answers segment that begins now.
Well, if you just answer the question, why don't you just answer the question? Be honest, no big deal. Yeah, answer the question.
Don't change the subject, just answer the fucking question.
Any questions?
Our first answers question this week, like every week, comes from our podcast son, Skylar Lester. At OMG, it's Skylar on Twitter. And Skylar says, if a PETA member has an animal infestation in their home, how would they handle it?
Oh, that home is the animals now.
You
They
have
have
to
no
give it to
property
them?
rights anymore. Yeah.
You just
If
have
the
to,
animals take over the home and you're a PETA member and you deplace the animals,
right?
you're
right.
abandoning your principles. So that is now the animal's home.
So you just have to move out, basically, is what you're saying.
Well, I want to know. I don't know about that because you have to make sure you keep paying rent so nobody else moves in and moves the animals out. So
You have to have your own company, hire the animals to work for your company, and then you got to start paying the animals a fair wage. I'm just thinking,
Either
like,
way,
say
I
a-
mean-
a raccoon family in your attic. You just got to give it up. Like, that's your house now. Like, this is the raccoon house.
Yeah, you got to go up. You got to build them some slides, and I mean, actually, honestly, you could probably make a reality show out of it. Raccoons in my roof.
Yeah.
Animal Planet will air anything.
Yeah, they probably would. But I'd watch a family of raccoons as like a sitcom. That'd be kind of cool. Get these crazy raccoons out of my attic! Ah! Except they'd feed us, so they had to be cool with it. So never
Yeah.
mind. Yeah, I would say you just gotta give it up. Yep, it's their house now. Move, but make sure you keep paying rent
Yeah.
if you really care.
Yeah, it's theirs. It's theirs. It's the only logical thing to do.
Do you have any other thoughts on this one?
No, you guys seem to solved it.
We got it. All right.
Mhm.
All right. I didn't know if you wanted to weigh in.
PTG,
next-
Pet Detectives.
Yep. Our next one is from Daniel Ramos at DJ Dan Holt on Twitter. And Daniel says, if the cheese expires in a package that hasn't opened and has been in the refrigerator its entire life, does that still make it, or does that make it aged cheese? If cheese expires in a package that's been opened and has been left in the refrigerator its entire life, does that make it aged cheese?
No, it hasn't been opened. Hasn't
Hasn't
been
been
opened.
open. I've had this happen before. You buy like sometimes I just go there. I'm gonna make sandwiches all week, and I'll buy like 4 things of cheese. I'm like, I'm gonna get cheddar jack. I'm gonna get Swiss. I'm gonna get the spicy kind.
Doesn't cheese last like a year?
Not always. And then there's times where it's like it slides to the back of my fridge, and I look at it and like, there's mold on it, and it's like that's not even opened. That's aged cheese.
Yeah, not
I
well
mean, it's
aged.
Not well
it's
aged,
aged.
right? The degree of like whether I wouldn't eat it, but it's aged. Like, how do you age cheese without getting moldy, or does all cheese have mold on it?
No, blue cheese. How do you know blue cheese is no longer good to eat? Because it is moldy cheese.
It's not blue anymore.
Well, blue cheese isn't blue. It's white, and then there's mold in it that is kind of blue. But how can you tell?
When it
Is it
starts
just
turning
that
green?
mold looks different than the other mold? It's blue cheese. You're eating mold, which for years I thought was fucked up. But blue cheese is
amazing.
delicious.
I love cheese. I just don't understand it. Like they have like big blocks of cheese you can buy at like the grocery store, and it's like, oh, this is aged. And it's like, wouldn't it be covered in mold? It's just out in the air. How is it
No,
just
because
chilling?
there's ways to age it without getting it moldy.
How? Do you have to get like a humidor?
I don't know. I'm not a cheese man.
I don't know. You seemed like you had answers, Mr.
Ask
Restaurant guy.
Wisconsin.
You're a fucking Packers fan. Answer that for me, Mr. Cheesehead.
Aged white cheddar is the best cheese there is. Changed my mind.
Of course, he would say white cheddar. Did you notice that, Robert?
I mean, I love me some
That's a
sharp
lot.
cheddar too, but white cheddar is just goddamn good. I've got some actual steakhouse that's got onions in it too in my fridge right now.
I'm a string
Specialty
cheese guy myself.
cheese. You're a what cheese?
String cheese.
Classy.
Do you guys do you peel the string cheese or do you just like
Yes.
I quit?
No,
I
if you
go
just-
for it.
Oh, you're a psychopath.
I just go for it, dude. I don't got time.
I'm not gonna say I've never done it, but if you like, if your go-to move is not to peel your string cheese, you're a fucking psychopath.
I mean, you start with like 1 or 2 of them, but it's like I don't have time to just peel a whole thing of string cheese. I'll peel 1 or 2, get all right, cool, that was fun, and then
why don't
eat
you
it.
just buy a wheel of mozzarella and take bites out of it?
Because you don't feel like a fucking fat ass if you're like eating string cheese. If you buy like a whole wheel of mozzarella and they're just like, "Hey, Alex, what are you doing?" Like, I'm snacking.
You don't have to buy a
biting
big
into
wheel,
a wheel
but
of
just
cheese.
like, a little snack size wheel. I'm sure Baby Bell probably makes some mozzarella.
Do you think anybody buys just like a huge wheel of cheese and like just like that's how they get their cheese until it's gone? Like a lot of people, you think?
Yes.
They buy like the $200 wheel of cheese in like Kroger, and they're like, "We're just gonna set this on the counter, kids."
Have
Who
you
wants a
ever heard
grilled
of the
cheese
state
sandwich?
of Wisconsin?
Okay, besides Wisconsin.
They fucking like cheese is their deodorant. Cut off a chunk and rub it under your arms before you go to school.
Cheese is pretty bomb.
Cheese is the best, man.
It's pretty bomb. Then they have like that wheel of cheese, that whatever that race is, where they throw the big wheel of cheese down a hill, and it's in like Scotland, and then everybody just has to run down, and you win if you get the cheese first. But like it's just tons of like dudes just eating shit and rolling down a hill, and then other people are eating shit, rolling down the hill on top of them, and it's like who can get it
Vomiting.
first? Figure it out. There's like the same people that do like that wife carrying championship every year. Where you're like, why? Is this sport?
There's a definite crossover right there. Except the wife carrying one, I feel like is harder to do while drinking, but I feel like they still do anyway.
I got a cheese question. Who likes cheese more, dogs or mice? Or like mice/rats? Because I'm gonna put them under the same umbrella. Because like I know from everything we've been shown, mice and rats love cheese. But like
I'm gonna say mice and rats.
I'm gonna say mice and rats too.
If I have
'cause
those Kraft
I've-
singles, I can't touch it without my dog being, what's up? Hey, what's this?
That's
Cheese?
true.
I love cheese.
But
There's
I've never
Weezy
seen
right
a
now.
mice
Weezy
or a
heard you
rat.
saying cheese, and she comes around.
I've never seen a
I don't
mice
have
or rat
cheese
that
for you.
didn't like
I don't have
cheese. I've never, but I have seen dogs that don't go for cheese.
What?
Yeah.
That's insanity to me. I thought all dogs loved cheese.
Most, but there are some that don't go for it. I've never seen a mouse or a rat video where you give them cheese and they don't go for it. So,
Okay. Talking
Yeah.
cheese on Pass the Gravy.
cheese.
So if the cheese expires in a package that hasn't been opened, but has been in the refrigerator its entire life, that does make it aged cheese still. Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe not the most ideal aged cheese. And then somebody explain to us mold on cheese, please. But dumb it down so our brains can process it. Our next question comes from our girl Danielle Weston at Danny_Weston on Twitter. And she says, isn't egg salad still chicken salad?
No.
Well, what came first, the chicken or the egg? And so if you think about it,
Well, but an egg is not a chicken. It's still an
but
egg.
an egg produces the chicken. So therefore, it's just like pre-chicken salad.
Oh, it's not chicken that yet, though.
Not yet. It's pre-chicken salad.
It's not chicken.
But if chickens come from eggs, and then you have eggs, like you have chicken in the egg, then sort of. It's just a chicken embryo. It's just a different kind of thing, you know.
But an egg is an egg, and chicken is a chicken. Same thing with like
Just-
a
that's
tad. A
debatable.
tadpole is not a frog. It's a tadpole.
It's a baby
It is
frog.
It is its
It's a baby
own thing.
frog.
No, it's a tadpole. It has not gone through its Pokemon evolution yet.
Yeah, I'm a
Robert.
pat on this one. I'm a pat on this one. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Because eggs taste like eggs and chicken tastes like chicken.
Right. Chicken salad's better than egg salad, but like I would say egg salad is like the parent of chicken salad.
You're not into hard-boiled eggs, right?
Not at all. Not at all.
I mean, by itself, no.
I mean, it's
Every so often I'll eat
disgusting.
one and I'm just like, it's not disgusting, but I'm just like, God, I wish there was more flavor. But like,
Ugh.
man,
I'm just
deviled
gonna
eggs
fart
though.
all day. That's what I'm gonna do.
Deviled
You
eggs.
say when you eat a hard-boiled egg.
Deviled eggs, come at me, bro.
Robert, do you like hard-boiled eggs?
Yeah, there was a few months like last year where like hard-boiled eggs would be my breakfast like every day.
Yeah. Throw a pickled jalapeno on top of that bitch. Ooh. Some relish. Little paprika.
Mm-hmm.
Get it.
Did you boil?
Honestly, you know what too? Spicy mustard.
I'm not a
it's
mustard
kind
guy.
of. Oh, okay. Well,
Mm-mm.
Did you like boil them all together and then you just keep them in like a bag and you do like one a day, or would you just boil one each day?
No, I tried that method of like bulk boiling, but like I didn't like the taste of the next day cold hard-boiled
Next day
egg.
egg. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would do them the day of.
you ever soft boil an egg?
Mm-mm. I don't think I'd be able to do that.
It's just weird to me to have, you know the consistency of the outside, and then you bite into it and the yolk is still runny. That's just weird to me. Which
Yeah.
I still.
How do you soft boil an egg?
But you just don't cook it as long, I think.
Oh. Okay, cool. Well, I didn't know that. So ask a question, get an answer. There we go.
Yeah, you just let the
Um,
yolk stay runny on the inside.
So egg salad is not still chicken salad, but it's like the parent of chicken salad, I would say, which I think is fair. Moving on to our buddy Josh Tree Cottle, the reigning Pass the Gravy Rookie of the Year at Joshua Tree 713 on Twitter. And Josh says, is a peacock just a fly ass turkey?
I don't know, but now I want to eat a peacock.
I don't want to eat a peacock. Those are beautiful birds, bro.
So, cows are beautiful animals and they're delicious.
Are they beautiful animals?
Oh yeah, they're very cute.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm with Robert on that one.
Y'all are just cow haters.
I'm not a cow hater. I love cows, but just like I wouldn't call them cute.
You ever
They got
had
like
veal?
udders and shit. Yeah. I mean, it's
you ever seen a
delicious.
baby cow?
All the time.
Yeah, and-
The motherfuckers are cute, but I still want to eat them in a nice fucking pasta.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I don't think cows are cute though, but a peacock is a pretty fly turkey, I would say.
It's a jive ass turkey.
It's like the turkey's like rave cousin, you know, like it
yes.
goes to raves, it chills, it's the bad boy. It's
Whereas-
like this the rock star turkey that like went off, started a band.
The
started a
turkey
TV
probably
network.
listens to like country agricultural music like I do, and the peacock is like their cousin from the city that goes to raves and listens to Diplo and takes ecstasy and paints like
Agricultural
Paint all over
music,
himself.
did you just say that?
I did.
That makes you think of like you're just playing like tractors.
No, ag halls are for agricultural music. Man.
Playing
Western
tractors
music.
and we're banging on barns.
Oh, they'll. You go to an ag hall, there'll be some barn banging. I tell you that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Interesting.
I would, you know what? Maybe it's a cosmopolitan turkey. Nothing. All right, never mind. Fuck me, right? That was a long pause.
I'm still stuck on agricultural music.
You never heard that term before?
No. It's like
It's like
music
country
you play on a
music,
farm.
Western music. It's
Because
also
you
called
only
agricultural music.
you can only play with like corn. Like you take two corns and just like start banging them together.
It's like that. Have you ever heard that thing that people put there? Bang, 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 bang. That weird fucking instrument. A lot of harmonicas.
What kind of turkey did you call it?
It's a jive ass turkey.
No, before that.
Cosmopolitan.
Cosmopolitan
turkey.
It's a Cosmo turkey.
It's a it's a turkey that also has taken MDMA. That's what it is.
Exactly. That's what it is. That's really what it is. Okay, so that was I would say it counts as a or a fly ass turkey. Maybe not a jive ass turkey. It's a fly ass turkey though. And then we got one final question for our buddy Uziel Lara at Lil Uzi 27 on Twitter. And Uziel says, dried fruit jerky?
I don't see why not. Like,
That's
man,
pretty much what it is, right?
raisins are just plum jerky.
Grape jerky.
Grape jerky. Sorry, grape jerky, not plums. I don't know.
Plum,
I don't know what I
it's
said.
prunes, right?
Prunes, yes. Which, by the way, prunes, super dope. Very underrated fruit.
Dried fruit isn't good.
You're dumb.
Like dried apples or like dried mango. Not good.
I've
at
had
all.
like banana chips before, like dried banana. That was pretty good. But yeah, I would tend to agree with you, Robert. It's
You
like,
don't think raisins are good?
that's not the style of dried fruit that I'm thinking of though. Like
Well, I guess,
most,
yeah, no,
most dried fruit is not good.
I think what we're thinking of is dehydrated fruit.
But that's also dried fruit, right? Dehydrated would mean you're just drying it.
is this fruit wet at all? And what level of wet is it?
Right. It's not moist. I'll tell you that much.
I will say, for cooking, dried mango is much better to use.
I thought you were anti-mango.
Holds its consistency a lot better. I'm not. I said right away, I really like mango. I just think there's better
I
fruits
thought
that
you
can be
hated
used.
mango.
No. I really enjoy mango a lot, actually. I just think there's better fruits to use.
Well, I would definitely say that dried fruit is just fruit jerky. That plays.
Yeah.
That plays. So yes, Uziel, it is dried or fruit jerky. Dried fruit is fruit jerky. There we go. I said it right. Guys. All right. Is this the fastest episode we've ever had?
I don't know. What are we at?
Hold on.
Raisins aren't
One-
good either.
146. Raisins are good on certain things. Raisin Bran is good.
I'm going to fight you. Raisin Bran is amazing.
Raisin
But,
Bran is good, but
That's what
raisins.
old people.
It's like Chris Traeger said, raisins. They're nature's candy.
They are. That's the dude. When anybody calls fruit nature's candy, they just like.
I'll get
Just
behind
saying,
that
like,
100%.
don't.
Peaches?
No.
Don't tell me peaches are pineapple. That's straight up candy, dog.
But people only use nature's candy when they're trying to be like, see, eat this. It's a healthier alternative. It's like,
Oh yeah,
shut the
no.
fuck
The
up.
people that say that thing
I'll
are
eat my
fucking
Kit Kat.
dickheads, but I can't disagree with it. Yeah, like a
I
Kit
guess.
Kat is still great, but like, give me pineapple any day of the week. I love pineapple.
Fellas, it's good for your performance with the ladies later on, if you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've heard.
She'll be real sweet on you
Yeah, she will.
afterwards.
Yeah, she will. All right, guys. I think that's it. At Pass the Gravy Pod, hashtag PTG Answers for your answers questions. I am at Alex J. Middleton. Pat's at not Pat Dan. Robert is at Robert Barbosa 03. A recent study suggests podcast. It's available free everywhere you're listening to Pass the Gravy right now. And it's Robert with his partner, Sam. I always tell Robert I enjoy hearing Sam plays the straight man on recent studies suggest. Robert's the wacky one, and I kind of like
I still don't think we've ever heard Robert say that he wants to be a part of the Pass the Gravy Network. He just is too polite to say no.
Well, we just threw him into it, so there you go.
There you go.
You just
See, still right there.
done. It's done. He's not part of it, is what he's saying. Yeah, at Pass the Gravy Pod, at Alex J. Milton, at not Pat Dan, at Robert Barbosa 03. Please give us a 5-star review on iTunes. Roast us in the comments. Make sure you give us the 5 stars. Roast us in the comments. Whoever has the funniest roast of us will win an award at our Gravies, which hopefully we can do in person in a couple of months. I'm not sure how it's going. We'll figure it out. We're still a few months.
God,
away
I
from
hope
December.
we better not have to do that over
We
Zoom.
may just have to do like a socially distant one, but I feel like things are opening up. If Southern Star's open, I bet we can get in there and do that. But yeah, you guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for please share us with a friend and listen to Robert's podcast. Check out Pass the Gravy Bro if you're into Big Brother. Pat's gonna hop on that with me here in a couple hours to recap the Wednesday episode of Big Brother. You guys are awesome. Be safe. Fucking football is back, guys. Fuck the Cowboys. Go everybody but the Cowboys and Eagles. And until we talk to you guys next time, Pass the Gravy. Yeah, bitches.
I'm losing my self-control. Yeah, you're starting to trickle back in. But I don't want to